What's up, guys? Today I am back with another episode of Winter's Empty Mask. Now I'm just gonna let you guys know right now, this is currently only in demo version. I should let you guys know that now. So we'll probably finish up the game by today, since the game itself is not that long. So let's just get right into it. In the midst of complete darkness, a bright object falls from heaven, alone and in silence. Wow, it's a mask. It is a white ceramic mask with a big smile, like the one from classical theater depicting comedy. The mask is the only thing visible, as if it had its own light in the empty world. As it falls, it turns around. Once the face is visible again, it can be seen that the expression has changed. Now it is a sad face. The mask finally touches the ground, breaking into 1,000 pieces, but magically the pieces stay floating in the air, each one in its own place, floating and turning slowly. All these years, I've searched for my own mask. In every corner, at every hour, in every person, without results. But although I have not been able to find it, I've learned a lot about them. The pieces of the mask mysteriously begin to change color, shape, and size. Now they did not seem to belong to the same object at all, but come each from a different place. Everyone has a different mask, the face that we show to society, the one we show to our friends, to our family, and even to ourselves. Our personalities are different, but our masks are made with the same parts. That's cool. When she finishes speaking, the pieces move, merging to form a new, completely different to the original mask. A red mask with the face of a demon. A few seconds later, the new mask dissipates in the form of grains of sand, slowly floating away, only to later come back again. The process of fusion and separation is repeated at least 3 more times, forming different masks, each with different emotions. Okay, yep, that's a cool mask. That I wish was real. Gotta buy it. Everybody check on Amazon if this mask exists. Hate, love, pain, jealousy, indifference, sadness, hope, despair. If you learn to understand the pieces and put them in the adequate quantity and form, you can then become any mask. If you can understand them and predict them, deceive them even. A girl appears in the imaginary world, Yuki Aketsu, wearing a traditional kimono with long black hair and red eyes. She takes the mask with both hands. Now it has the face of a maiden, stained with blood. It is only a matter of observing and understanding what the things mean for the new mask, what kind of personality it has, what should it love or hate. Yuki speaks with a small smile while she slowly moves closer to the mask. If you do that correctly, you can become anyone you want, because that's the advantage of not having any, she said while putting the bloody mask on her face. I wanted to see an actual image of that. I can hear my agitated breathing through the mask. My lungs burn, but if I ever stop breathing, it is because I am dead. I'm wearing my work uniform to kill, while I struggle with some kind of humanoid monster, 2.5 meters high, with hard albino skin and huge black claws on hands and legs, about 50 centimeters in length. It has no face, with the exception of a mouth, a huge mouth that reaches on both sides of its face, full of razor-sharp teeth, as if it were a shark, and from which emanates poisonous gas like the smoke of a motor. I am wounded. My left shoulder is bleeding after receiving a blow from the beast. I can barely stay upright. My legs tremble, just able to hold my own weight. Suddenly I start coughing. My body weakens, forcing me to fall on my knees. On the ground, I continue coughing, until from my mask fall 2 drops of blood that paint the floor. The color red. I told you. The beast is able to speak. His inhuman voice expresses complete security. Inhuman voice. That gas mask wouldn't do anything against my poison. I cough once more, but then stand and adopt a combat posture. With the right hand in front of me holding a hunting knife as strong as I can, and the left hand a little behind with an open palm. The beast comes to me in an onslaught. At the last second, I jump to the left, managing to evade him. I can feel the wind as it passes nearby, just 1 millimeter from me. After the fall, I bend my knees and use one hand in the floor to support the weight of my weak body. Hands in the floor? Okay. It feels so heavy and rigid, as if it were petrifying. He quickly turns around and dashes for a second attack. I wait for it in place with my eyes wide open, waiting for a signal. Then at the last moment, I see an opening in his attack and jump following the right side of the monster, cutting him deep with my knife. The beast roars and immediately counterattacks, but I was already waiting for it. Skillfully I dodge, just by millimeters, and then jump away. However, when my feet touch the ground, they act clumsy, and I fall. My breathing becomes more hectic, noisy, like a broken motor. Without thinking, I take a hand to my forehead and rub it, trying to relieve the pain. What's happening, Red Sun? Are you dying? Says the monster mockingly, exhaling more poison from his mouth when he speaks. White smoke that quickly becomes invisible when mixed with air. It should offend me, but it has no effect on me. Even if he is right, does it matter? I look at the monster waiting for his next move. Then, suddenly my vision is clouded. Everything becomes blurry. It is impossible to distinguish what there is in front of me. It lasts for only a second until I regain my vision, but that is enough, more than enough to be caught. With one of his arms, the monster hugs me against his body with inhuman strength. A normal person would have suffered numerous fractures after being crushed with such force. I don't know why I was about to say human force. But that is not his intention. He knew I would not die so easily. He only wanted to cause me pain and capture me. With the other hand, he removes my mask without any delicacy, making small cuts on my face with his claws and revealing my identity. The mask bounces a couple of times when it touches the ground. Inside it, there was blood. My face is dirty, far from the beautiful and elegant image of every day. A thread of blood drops out my lips, and my eyes are watery, but even then I smile, an uncanny smile, like a doll, with the expression frozen on her face, unable to change it. I just smile, ignoring the precariousness of the situation. Yuki, Fujidari, expresses the monster with surprise. Sincerely, I did not expect that you were red. But I guess it does make a bit of sense now that I think about it. There is no answer. There is no need to say anything. I stay quiet with a broken body, smiling without emotion. The blood-stained smile is mysterious and uncomfortable for anyone who sees it. What's wrong? Says him, disgusted with inhuman voice, just before cutting my cheek with one of his claws until blood drips from the wound. He could... Oh wait, I can't see what that says, guys. Sorry guys, I'm a little tired right now. He could cut my head at the moment if it wanted to. It's funny.
Yes. What do you find so funny, Yuki-chan?
Playfully, the monster follows the game, but then suddenly opens his mouth, releasing a yell of pain. Shortly after, red blood springs from his lips. Red blood springs from his lips. I don't know why I said that all together. Of course, he was not expecting it. Before he knew it, I stabbed him in the chest, piercing his heart without deviating a millimeter. The monster was surprised. In this unique movement, I was stronger than during all combat. So much, a couple of his ribs were broken in the attack.
How can this be possible?
Says the monster with a very different voice. Not angry, just skeptical. Seems like a bad joke. Thinking he would lose with victory at the tip of his fingers. But that is real. It is very possible. I knew you would get overconfident as soon as you felt that the battle was on your side. And you like to toy with your victims before killing them. My words have an almost indescribable coldness. Shortly after that, the monster releases me. It was not his intention. His hands no longer have the strength to hold me. My feet touch the ground with perfect balance. Symptoms of poisoning vanished in the twinkle of an eye. Then the blood on my face and clothes returns to my body through the skin. Wounds heal without leaving not even a scar. All evidence that I had been at the edge of dying is deleted in a couple of seconds.
It's impossible. I saw it. With my own eyes, I saw it. You were about to die by my poison.
He says in disbelief, just before screaming in pain at the same time, he falls on his knees, still trying to resist death, but knowing that it was impossible. He had already abandoned all hope of winning, or making it a mutual murder. He just wanted to know why it failed. That was the only thing he needed. To die without remorse. Oh? I exclaimed in a playful way, before covering my mouth and closed my eyes, laughing a couple of seconds with pure elegance. Of course, it is all an act. Do you mean this? After saying that, I extend my arm and in one quick motion cut it deep. From it springs black blood, slowly spilling to the floor. It was abnormally dark and vicious, but it wasn't much. It only made a small stain in the floor. The wound then closed almost instantly. The shamans of water are the best to cure or produce poisons, but you already knew that, right? Moreover, I am sure that you expected it and had another plan in mind. I pause and smile. Short silence produces a chill to the monster. He just realized that my presence is more frightening, even more than that of an inhuman creature. It was because you saw the poison symptoms in me that you lowered your guard, confident that there was only a matter of time to win. Never crossed your mind that it could all be an act, of course. Who would... Hold up, guys. Stretch. Of course. Who would you think? Guess I'm over. Oh, I'm not even gonna read that line, guys. Skip it. My index finger touches my lips gently in a thinking gesture. Then I laugh again, as elegant as always. Well, I guess that is not right. All symptoms were real. I allowed your poison to work, but in a contained part of my body. Then I ordered the rest to imitate the symptoms. Although, it makes me sad to admit it, the truth is that Truth is that before the match, you were stronger than me. This plan gave me the best chance of success. After hearing the explanation, the monster lowers his sight and gasps for air. It takes him a long time before speaking.
I see,
he said with his last breath, and the next second collapses on the floor, leaving a pool of blood. Shortly after, his body begins to change, has violent spasms, returning with each of them a little more human until the end. He was a man of at least 40 years, with a tattoo on his back and the other in his shoulder. It only took a few seconds for a monster to turn human. That is his true form. But monster or man is irrelevant. It was my target. I stare at it in silence for a couple of seconds before calmly walking towards him. Then, I point at the body with the palm of my right hand. His blood returns thanks to my power. The internal pressure rises out of control, squashing each one of the organs until he explodes. Now, in front of me, there is a twisted mass of meat, scarcely recognizable as human. It is another successful work. Soon thereafter, I walk away, slowly, and pick up my mask. I look at it coldly, noticing the blood inside. The formerly proud and playful expression was deleted, and now my face was submerged in indifference. It is only an uncomfortable work I had to do. Nothing of real importance. Blood trickles down the skin of my fingers and then is absorbed, returning to my interior. Once clean, I put the mask in one of my pockets and then take off the raincoat, showing casual clothes under it. The clothes are torn after the combat, but I do not care. I already had a false explanation in mind if I found myself in the need to lie. Finally, a sigh slips from my lips while my hair is combed by an invisible hand. Nobody touched it. It was time to return home and report the results to the grandmother. At my young age, I already saw death as something normal, even boring. You could play with the living, but dead are nothing more than meat. Winter's empty mask.
Oh, I gotta yawn real quick.
In other news, a new body was found this morning. The victim was recognized as Yoshimuro Takahiro. The police have not given statements on the matter, but the evidence seems to point that it was the work of the killer popularly known as Red. Beware, the following images may be disturbing, said a TV commentator, talking about the most shocking news of the moment. Just a few months after the murder of the teacher All Momochi learned about the personality named Red, it became something viral. You could link him to crimes as old as 6 years ago, but it was not until then that it began to become popular, since that the only time it left a message. In the coming years, Red's murders have increased in both number and violence. A family of 5 was killed in their house. A family member discovered the crime after noticing it had been a long time without hearing a word from them. According to the investigations, it is believed that the crime was carried out a week ago. The main suspect is Red. A body was found the date. Okay, they messed up that sentence. A body was found the day today. A body was found today near the station Osana. The victim has not been identified, but is believed to be a 27-year-old man. This is the 3rd time this month a crime is attributed to Red. Today, we regret having to inform you that the chief of police, Haru Akihiko, was found lifeless in his apartment. Red made no distinctions. Men, women, elderly, children, poor, rich, good, or bad. They were all victims in the eyes of the murderer. In all his crimes, sharp or blunt weapons were used. Not once was the use of firearms noticed. In a crime, Red used a metal baseball bat and another a Japanese sword, but most only used knives and needles. Perhaps what motivated him to use different weapons was a plan, or perhaps just felt a desire to use them. Those are the most common theories that are heard, but do they know? No one has any idea of what is behind the mask. Another feature that frightened people is that in some cases, there were traces of torture, as was the case of the teacher, with his hands nailed to the floor by long needles. Red knows no mercy, doesn't know how to show it. Yet there is something distinctive that became a signature. All the victims were found destroyed by excessive blood pressure. Inside, everything was broken and torn, almost like a pulp, while outside, the bodies were twisted and bathed in their own blood, pouring from all their holes and wounds. It is an image from another world. How did he do it was a mystery to ordinary people, but it had become the unmistakable mark that had been the work of Red. Images of crimes were on TV frequently. Photos of areas cordoned off by police, bodies stained with blood, the tape of "Do Not Cross," revealing that a crime had occurred. It was difficult to feel secure living in Momiji before, but now it was terrifying. The only relief for the residents is that among so many people, it was unlikely you were to meet with Red throughout all your life. Statistics estimated 1 to 100,000 or less. But even so, someone had to be that one. In any way, Red had produced horror, hatred, and above all, fear in Momiji. It became an infamous celebrity. With his empty mask. Time passes. Day continued as usual, boring. Nothing memorable on them. A permanent gray filter covers the world. Looks so tasteless. Does not seem to have a single interesting thing in it. People, things, feelings, all of them are so distant. About 4 years have passed, and in all that time, I had not made a single friend. I walk alone every day, sometimes hearing people murmuring, but I never give it importance. I do not approach them, nor them to me. It was some kind of imaginary pact between the two. My hair has grown long again, with a beautiful red color in the tips. Something unusual, but elegant. It is not an accident. There was a reason for that others will not understand. Also, I got a new uniform after entering high school. Those two things seem to be the only changes in my life. The rest is a gray photography, immune to time. During classes, more than paying attention, I spend time looking at the nothingness. My eyes are attracted by a small signal, a colleague speaking, someone across the hall, whatever occurs it outside of the window, or anything else that can distract my mind momentarily. At the start of the semester, I used to read the textbooks, but it did not take me more than a few weeks to finish them. It's terribly boring, but going to school is an obligation. I have to keep the good image of my family, even if it's unnecessary. Easily, I could learn all this at home, and much more efficiently. It is a waste, but that's what happens when you are born in a culture where education is viewed with such high regard. Or perhaps I should say the schools. Despite paying a minimum of attention, my grades are the highest. It is very easy to understand the different subjects. but I think it is somewhat unfair to say it since I'm not like them. I managed to avoid entering a school club with the excuse that I have to help my grandmother at home. It's not like there are many people anxious to recruit me, but at least I had a reason. Nobody then returned to bother me. Like any other day, I walked back to the subway station, carrying my school bag with both hands. My sight is low, paying more attention to the ground than around me. What does it matter? They are both the same. Boring. Then suddenly, I see a point of snow on the ground. It had started to snow. I ignore it and keep walking. It is winter, so it is normal. Snowflakes fall gently, piling on the ground. It is something that most people would call beautiful. I walk a couple more steps and without reason, then look up at the blue sky covered by clouds. The falling snow is so ordinary, I just cannot understand what is so special about it. However, the idea that there is something more I cannot reach doesn't leave my mind. In truth, I'm broken. There's a piece missing inside me. Perhaps if one day I find it, I'll be able to see the beauty in something so mundane. I shake my head and without wasting more time, I resume walking. In silence, I board the train, watching people come and go, without any of them having an effect on my life. When I arrive at home, it is already dawn. There is little daylight left. I am home, I announce with respect in a cold voice the moment I open the door. Immediately, a servant appears to take my stuff. She asks me if I want something, to which I respond negatively, moving head. What? To which I respond negatively, moving head. Shouldn't it be like negatively moving my head? With the reverence she withdraws, and soon I forget about it. The rest of the day was quiet, repeating itself like any other. When it is bedtime, I turn off the light and wait for a new day to begin, having no expectations. In the dark, I watch the ceiling in my room while trying to sleep. Not being able to sleep is really a nuisance, but I got nothing else to do today. I often wonder what others think while in bed. About what they did. Yeah, cat hair. What they did do during the day, what they didn't, what would they like to do in the next? I guess one of them. I, on the other hand, have nothing to think about. The past day was mundane and boring, and the next day will be exactly the same. I know what everybody thinks about when they go to sleep. God of War. Boy. The routine has me consumed. I long for a change, but even that desire is weak. I sigh and close my eyes, trying to put my mind blank. All that remains for me is to wait. In the end, there's only a matter of time. Before realizing it, night ends. So she not sleep at all? Enters empty mask. I get up early in the morning, always at the correct time. I don't need an alarm clock, I already have one in my head. And in my mind, I am able to tell the time almost perfectly. After waking up, the next step is getting ready to go to school. It all happens silently as always. A bath of hot water, brushing my teeth, changing clothes. Finally, the last step is breakfast. What makes it especially uncomfortable, however, is that I have to do it in the company of my brother and my grandmother. Good morning, I said politely as I entered the living room with a small reverence. Hello, Yuki-chan, answered my grandmother Kazane with feigned friendliness. Tamashi is not here? She closes her eyes and sighs with annoyance. No, he left early. That boy seriously needs to learn some manners. I blink in silence without knowing what to say, or even if I should say something. Kazane then smiles, fake as always. In any case, don't let that bother you, Yuki-chan. Let's eat. It is the best way to start the day. Yes, I said before sitting in a traditional way at my usual place in the table. Thanks for the food. Itagirimasu. After that short conversation, not a single word is said. The minutes pass, and soon it's time to get up. I leave the dishes on the table. A servant will pick them up later. Then I head to the door. I'm going out now, I said with respect after putting on my shoes. At the same time, I do a reverence towards the interior. Then I open the door and finally get out of my house. Get out of my swamp! The next step is to get to the train station. To do that, I go down the hill where my house is located, moving past other big mansions that clearly belong to rich people. A private chauffeur could take us to school every day, but my grandmother does not allow it. She says that going as normal people teaches humility. What's wrong with being normal? I'm honestly indifferent about it, or perhaps even prefer it like that. Once in the train, I look for an empty seat. There's really not always empty seats on the train. It takes about half an hour to reach the station where I get off. Especially Japan. Like, how are you gonna find an empty seat? You gotta be lucky. During that time, I see people go up and off without giving it real importance. Next to me, a boy plays with his phone. In front, a couple of girls talk amicably. Judging by the uniforms, they study in the same school as I. Nothing new. I photograph them every day. I close my eyes and sigh. Only a few minutes left. Alright guys, I'm gonna have to reverse. Have you heard of the new student coming to school? A little. Honestly, I don't care much, replied the other girl before yawning. Is he handsome? Said the first, surprised. You should pay more attention. After all, people say this guy is dangerous. Dangerous? Asked the other girl without actually showing much interest. Guys, this is really hard for me to do. Like, I'm having trouble containing the laughter of just doing that voice. Well, I heard that he hit an upperclassman with a hammer a few years ago, nearly to death. The girl does a long pause after saying, boring! Finally, exclaims the other girl. If you want to be scary, then you should learn from Red, Sama. Here at Momiji, we are not scared so easy. You're a jerk, replied the other girl, slightly irritated, but then laughs. Her friend smiles amicably. But, well, what's his name? The girl looks up with a thoughtful expression, trying to remember the name. Ichiro Tanakai? Suddenly, I feel a chill run all over my back. With my mind blank, I sigh, and then I cover my mouth with both hands, feeling them so cold. My heart jumps with such force that I can feel it in my throat. What was that? It felt so strange. I breathe slowly. Trying to calm down. Okay, I am not trying to bust or anything, but whoever made this game really needs to work on the freaking text. I'm trying. Oh my god. She says she's trying to calm down. I'm trying to calm down. Why are you yelling at me? I'm trying to calm down, man. But my heart keeps beating calm down! Even more than when I'm in combat. Ichiro. Ichigo! Whisper my lips almost inaudible. Shouldn't be whispers. I haven't forgotten that name. I close my eyes and swallow saliva. Blah. Then I hear the train arrive at next station. At next station? Okay. I appreciate it. Somehow that sound helped me get out of the confusion. Yet I still have to go to school. Just keep your mind on that. I look at the girls again. The conversation changed to another topic that I don't care. I guess it's for the best. I take a deep breath, trying to calm down, then look at my cell phone. The screen says 7:36 a.m. There's still 10 minutes left to get to my destination. However, that short time became unusually long. My eyes contemplate uneasy to any small change around me. There is no reason. Simply can't stay still without looking at something. There is nothing here I want to see. When I get off the train, it's 7:47 a.m. But why am I thinking so much? It shouldn't be what am I thinking so much about, not why am I thinking. Whatever. What difference does a couple of minutes make? I bite my lip with anxiety and start to walk faster than usual. I'm going towards school, hurried, with my head full of noisy ideas. How do I know it is him? It could be someone else with the same name. Yes, it makes no sense. Ichiro I know is not the type of person who would attack someone else. What if it is him, but has changed so much that he becomes... What? Oh my god! This freaking text, yo, is gonna be the death of me because they made so many errors that he becomes unrecognizable. It is a possibility. Normal people tend to change as they grow. Idealists abandon their dreams. The weak become strong. What they used to hate, learn to love it. There are so many possibilities. Even if it is really him, it doesn't mean he will be as I remember. What if he doesn't feel anything for you? Of course, it has to be that. It is not reasonable. It is not impossible he could remember me. Part of me even wants that to be true. But I still remember it. I am the only one who has not changed in all these years. No, that is a lie. Something did change in me. I did it, Ichiro. I let my hair grow if you like it. Watch your way, idiot! I suddenly hear a male student say, angry. Immediately, my heart shrinks with shame. It was my fault. I was walking absent-minded and unwillingly. I ran at other student. Oh God. One not kind at all. My sincere apologies. Expressed at the same time, I do a reference. The guy doesn't look pleased with the apology. He looks at me for long seconds, with sharp eyes, as if I were a dirty bug he wanted to step on. Then suddenly grabs my hand. Ah! I cried, confused, looking away. I don't fight back. I can easily destroy him, but my will is weak. It was a stupid mistake. I now had to pay the consequences. This is how I felt. The boy makes a disgusting smiles. How many smiles can one person make at once, huh? Caused me serious emotional damage. In your brain? How are you gonna make yourself responsible? I can feel his breath. It's warm. It stings. Like dog shit. It's dog poop, guys. It's warm, but it stinks. My heart hardens when I realize his intention. It took just an instant, but he wasn't hiding them. Again, I find someone with a disgusting look, equal to the one I saw many years ago. My body suddenly feels cold. If he touches my body, I will not forgive him. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Suddenly, said a male voice loudly. I gasped, surprised. Somehow, hearing that got me out of my mind. The boy turns his head and looks with scorn at the one who said it. You shut up. This is between us. She already apologized. Also, I hate bullies. The other guy is about my age. He is tall and slim, with short black hair, no beard or moustache, and with a look that is familiar to me. I blink while staring at him, confused. Why is he capturing my attention? More importantly, why does he care? This can be all solved quickly. Or this could all... Yeah, if they really need to change that. It should be this could all be solved quickly. With an apology or a beating. But it is not something that requires someone else meddling in. Why would you deviate from your way then? Both boys are staring. Sorry guys. Hold up, I need a sip of water. Both boys stare at each other, with eyes silently saying none was going to take his word back. Until finally, a few seconds later, the bully releases me. Idiots, not worth the problem, the bully said before sighing displeased and then walking away. Then the second boy turns to me and sighs with relief. Whew! That's some bad luck. But please, be more careful, he said friendly before resuming his way. Wait! I cried without even thinking what was I going to say next. He stops and turns around, tilting his head, confused and curious. Thank you for helping me, I said, doing a reverence. My voice sounds shy. This time is not an act. My heart beats fast while I think in the name of that person. I know him. Yes, I'm sure of it. Now, I only have to confirm it. Could you tell me your name? He scratches his head, feeling it wasn't necessary. Tanaka Ichiro, he says so casually as if it had no importance. But listening, it shook my world completely. I cannot begin to describe how I felt. For a moment, my heart stopped, then it began to beat faster than ever. I hold my breath, unable to look up. I'm still with my head down, bowing, but that is because I can't move. I don't know how to react. I swallowed saliva, and then breathed to fill my lungs with air. Tanaka, let me do something to repay you. My own words surprised me, but there was no lie in them. I want to be close to him. I want to know more about it. Oh, you don't have... Oh, don't do that. Honest. Just be more careful, he replied, embarrassed, moving his hands down, telling me, calm down. Telling me, calm down. Calm down. Please, I just want to do it. Thank you for helping me. Ah, that classic little anime girl's head tilt. After saying that, I finally look up. I stare into his eyes, and unexpectedly make a smile. A sweet smile. You mean... Whatever. I think this is the first time I ever did. The first time it wasn't fake, at least. I see how he immediately blushes. It is adorable. I do not know how to explain this feeling, but it is warm, gentle, and pleasant like nothing else. It is so different from what I know in my day-to-day. I don't want to ever separate from it. At last, we meet each other again, Ichiro.
Kawaii!
Sorry, man. I had to do that. To be continued. Oh, no. Really? I know it was a demo, but could they have gone on a little longer? Oh, what's in the extras? Oh, just that soundtrack. There's actually a soundtrack. Oh, guys, I wanna check all these. They have creepy music. Oh, shows all the images. Not anymore though, because this is the end of the demo. That's a mask. That is a good mask, ladies and gentlemen. That is a perfect mask. That's a mask you definitely have to put on your bucket list. Oh, and also from looking down here, I guess for the full game, there's multiple endings. So I don't know if there is a full game. I will have to look that up. But for now, I'm gonna end the video right here. This was Winter's Empty Mask, the demo. I will work on trying to find the full version. Okay, guys, I will do that just for you guys. Okay. Thank you so much for walking. I was about to say walking. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, hit that like button. Hit that like button as hard as you can. Hit it with a brick. Stab that like button. Subscribe if you like the content. Turn on that post notifications bell to see when I update. Or get constant updates on when I upload something new. And comment below whatever you want. Just no haters. Keep the haters out. Alright, well that's about it, guys, and I will see you all in the next game I play.